Bitcoin. Here's what most people just aren't really seeing, the big picture, of course, of what is going on. I also want to discuss some interesting ways that people are going to start making a lot of money with Bitcoin by not buying Bitcoin. Yes, we're talking about Bitcoin ecosystem plays today. Kind of the growing ecosystem we're seeing popping up here, just highlighting a few things. We're not going super deep into depth. We do have some videos we'll be doing on that in the not so distant future. Keep you guys up to date. Of course, there's a few videos on already, but we're going to talk about that a bit in today's video. I feel like it's an ecosystem that is not getting the kind of love that it deserves. And we've been talking a lot about Solana and a lot about Base and meme coins. We're all very excited about that stuff. We love that stuff. And we even have a little bit of airdrop alpha at the end of the video, so make sure to stick around for the goods. Guys, what's up? I see you in the chat. Welcome to the party. Let's hang out. Let's talk crypto. Drink some sparkling water later on. It'll be a great time. Let's go. Let's go. So price of Bitcoin, not a huge amount to report today, to be honest. We are still in that big fat triangle curling up, maybe curl up a little bit here and down back here and sideways, and then blammo, hopefully to the upside. Fingers crossed. If it doesn't happen, hey, say la vie, then we'll buy more, apparently. Because we're not going anywhere, man. A lot of people that are getting freaked out by this dip, you're not seeing the big picture of what's going on. MACD still on our downtrend. Not much to report there. Let's watch out for the bull cross. That will probably be a major indicator, especially if it happens down here or even a bit lower, that we are seeing a reversal in the market and getting ready for the next upside, okay? There you go. So that's the Bitcoin charts. Not a whole lot to report. I did want to share this with you, though. Mystery of Crypto posted this. Bitcoin is consolidating around its 2021 highs. If you look at the previous cycle, 21, 17, 13, it's quite interesting, actually. We can see that on the first attempts to break the previous highs, we sometimes had a little bit of a move over and then back down. A lot of consolidation happens around that level. It's not meant to be easy to break back into price discovery. I know everybody got their super bull horns put on at 73K. We're going to 100K tomorrow. What we were saying here, it feels like things are getting a bit crazy, a bit frothy out there. We had a correction, and that's great. It's nice to see. It actually makes me breathe a little sigh of relief when we have a correction like that, because, man, it was getting too hot too quick. We need to cool down a little bit, and it did, and that's good. It's actually a very positive thing. May not feel like it when you see my portfolio is down 20. I'm pissed off, man. Why is my portfolio down 30% this week? Come on, man. I thought it was supposed to go up forever. Yeah, you're only up 200% this year, man. 300% this year, 500% this year, but yeah, you're down 30% this week. Oh, no. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. This is all normal stuff. This is actually what is to be expected around an attempt to break through previous highs, that there will be difficulty in doing that there will be consolidation, that there will be chop until we get a stronger move. When that triangle breaks, that's something to watch for. Bitcoin ETF inflows, been a bit of a so-so week for it. We can see on April 3rd, Wednesday, we had $113 million, $40 million on Tuesday, and $85 million out. Yeah, you can't even see those numbers there, guys, but BitMEX's sheet here is starting to get pretty small. They're all the way back to January 11th, so the numbers keep getting smaller on this. But anyway, besides the point, so we've had about 100 million. No, not even. Had 150 minus 85. So we've had about 70 million positive inflow for the week. It's how it's going to be. It's actually quite funny to see so far how retail reactive these ETF products have been, because 73K, everybody wanted to buy. 63K, where'd all the buyers go? But no, we didn't go down 63K to be, but get the point. 65K, whatever. All the buyers are gone. Classic, isn't it? Come on. That's funny, right? What's up with this market? Human psychology, man. Once you understand it, it's going to make you a lot better investor in this market. Okay. Satoshi Flipper here saying spot Bitcoin ETFs took in 3 times more in March than what they took in February, and you're bearish. And you're listening to the clowns saying the macro bull market top is in. We're just getting started. That's it. Bitcoin ETF record volume. Volume, not inflow. Volume, but still 111 billion. That's wild, man. These Bitcoin ETF products have been so insanely bullish in the markets. Absolutely nuts. Broken all kinds of records in terms of ETF products. So very exciting to see that happen, of course. Here's a funny one. Hedge funds are currently holding record bearish positions on Bitcoin, leveraging short futures to anticipate or hedge against powerful price drops. I feel like those guys are going to have a tough situation. Yeah. There you go. Raoul Powell sharing, the Fed aren't going to cut. It's only going to be once or twice. The markets are going to freak out. This is pretty interesting. So 1995 to 96 was very similar. The Fed had jacked up rates in 1994 because the bond market was collapsing and banks were on the verge of failing and all that kind of stuff. Everyone was expecting a recession. That didn't happen, and they were expecting rates to come down a lot. However, the Fed only cut twice, a total of 75 basis points, raising 25 basis points again in 97 and cutting then again in 98. Could we be in a similar situation here? Hard to say, but it's food for thought, isn't it? Food for thought. Everybody's expecting that the Fed's going to come in, start cutting rates later this year, and they're going to cut it all the way back down to zero. What if they only cut once or twice? That would be the real smack in the face to the market. And of course, if you know your history, or if you were around investing in the markets back then, I was a kid back in 95, 96, man. But if you were investing or you simply know the history and the charts, you can look back and understand what the impact of all this was. And that is that markets ended up being mega bullish into the end of the decade. The dot-com boom was there. 97, 98, 99 into early 2000 were wild times in the stock market. Pets.com, all that kind of stuff happened, right? And you might say, well, yeah, but they didn't have war back then. World War III was on the verge of breaking out like it is now. Don't you see what's going on in Israel? Same shit was going on in Israel back then, unfortunately. Don't you see what's going on in Ukraine, Lark? This is World War III. We're on the verge of everything breaking down and going to hell. Ah! Yeah, there's a little thing called Yugoslavia that used to exist, and there was some pretty bad shit going on there in Europe at the time in the 90s. Markets don't give a fuck about it. Sorry. Terrible situations. I feel horrific that people have to live through these situations. And believe me, when it comes to Russia, Ukraine in particular, I have a lot more eggs in the basket, so to speak, than most people do. We have lots of family in Ukraine, and it's a very, very scary situation every day. Our cousin's going to be drug off to the front line to die. Is grandma's house going to get bombed? It's terrifying shit, okay? I would wish that on no one. Markets don't care. Anyway, let's do a real quick shout out. We're getting dark here, guys. Let's do a quick shout out to today's sponsor. Lighten the mood a little bit, huh? Lighten the mood a little bit. Thanks, Raoul Powell, for the charts, by the way. Yeah. So let's do a quick shout out to, of course, CoinStats, who is today's sponsor, guys. If you want to be tracking your assets, keeping up to date with what your assets are doing. These guys have the best damn portfolio tracker out there. You can manage all your crypto, all your DeFi, all your NFTs from one single place. They support most wallets, most exchanges, over 1,000 DeFi protocols, over 300 different wallets. They have all kinds of cool advanced coin insights as well, different insights into your portfolio. Look at this, great. You can see all the percentages, all the kind of stuff like that, your portfolio performance over time, all these kinds of things. Daily P&L, great features here. 100 supported chains. You also get all kinds of the latest news features coming through. They have a very, very robust news aggregation service that allows you to stay on top of all the news happening in the markets. That's for the market more broadly, as well as specifically for the coins that you are tracking in your portfolio. They also have advanced AI analytic tools, advanced portfolio analytic tools. Your AI tools can help you build your exit strategies, price predictions, all that cool kind of stuff. And limited time offer, you can enjoy a 50% off discount on their yearly plan. So normally it's $14 a month. You can get it for $7 per month. That's a $83 savings, 50% off using the link down below in the description. And you can start getting all the great features of CoinStats premium offerings. So go ahead, check it out. Link down below. Thanks again to CoinStats for sponsoring today's stream. So let's get back into it. Here's the big picture stuff a lot of people don't think about. Now, I know, guys, we have Bitcoin halving coming up in like 14 days, 15 days, whatever. And honestly, if you're fading Bitcoin before the Bitcoin halving in 2 weeks' time, I mean, you either don't know this market or you need to get your head checked, man, because it's not overnight. It's not overnight, but that is a major signpost that things are going to get crazy again in the market, okay? Okay? Morgan Stanley wants to be the first U.S. bank to fully offer Bitcoin ETFs for advisors to proactively offer it to any client. These guys have like 1.5 trillion or something assets under management. Pretty big deal, Morgan Stanley, right? They're in a race with UBS, also a pretty big deal, both going through the compliance process right now. First major brokerage to approve will likely lead to all doing the same. You understand what's going on right now. Again, as we discussed many times before the Bitcoin ETF launch, it wasn't all going to be overnight. We saw the first big wave of buyers come in the few weeks after the launch. Okay? Now, what are we seeing next? Now we're going to see a huge amount of these wealth advisors and wealth managers and asset managers and banks all roll out Bitcoin ETFs to their clients. The size of the bucket gets bigger. Okay, and they fill it with more water. Everything goes up. This stuff doesn't happen overnight, but the long-term implications of what's happening with Bitcoin, with the Bitcoin ETF products, is super hard to fade when you see stories like this. Just this one story, of course, not accounting for the Bitcoin ETF stuff, but just this one story back in 2017, the market would have been like melted down. It would have been so insanely bullish. Now it's like, oh, whatever. Guess it's just another Friday afternoon news story, okay? Yeah, all right. It's crazy stuff, though. Here, look at this. $930 billion DWS partners with Galaxy Digital launch physical Bitcoin ETCs in Germany. It's happening everywhere. Hong Kong Bitcoin ETFs coming. South Korea Bitcoin ETFs coming. Germany. More news stories coming out of Germany. They had a lot of news stories over the last 2 or 3 years. They passed all these different crypto and Bitcoin laws, and they've, of course, had Bitcoin ETPs and ETNs and whatever. Basically, more products for Bitcoin exposure, trading on the Stuttgart stock exchange, stuff like this. So it's happening. Okay, it's happening. More and more money is coming in all the time. More on-ramps are being opened up. And if you want prices to go higher, what do you need? You need more money to be able to come into the market. And that's what we're getting every single day. Okay? A lot of people aren't seeing that. They aren't realizing where we're going for all this. Now, I want to talk today about everything else happening on Bitcoin right now, because I know we talked just about Bitcoin quite a bit. Very exciting. We all love Bitcoin, of course, but there's some big shit happening right now. Next level up in Bitcoin. And it's very interesting because you see stuff like Ordi, for example, which, you know, kind of like almost like a Bitcoin meme coin sort of deal. Anyway, this is up 20x, or 2,000%, in the same time that Bitcoin is up 100%. So people are really starting to pay attention to the Bitcoin ecosystem that is growing up. That is why we are looking at BRC20 tokens, and we have TAP protocol tokens coming really soon. We have Bitcoin runes coming really, really soon. Where's our runes article? We actually posted this over the website. Look, we're not going to go through the whole thing here, but if you'd like to read about what runes are on Bitcoin, it's very interesting. There's a free article on our website at thewealthmastery.io. Go there, go to Crypto Library, type in runes. You'll find it there. It's very interesting. But the TLDR. Runes protocol is a new way of deploying fungible tokens on Bitcoin, set to launch at the Bitcoin halving next month, as is created by Cassie Rodermore, also the creator of Ordinals protocol on Bitcoin. Runes and Ordinals are closely connected. Some top projects crossing over between ordinals and runes, in which are lining up to launch Runes tokens, include Runestone, RSIC Meta Protocol, BTC Machine, Pups, Runes Terminal, and Runes as Fuck. There you go. Lovely name. So, lots of big things happening in the Bitcoin ecosystem right now, and I see huge excitement because this is the thing. If you've been in Bitcoin for a long time, you've had to sit there and watch, especially if you're like a hardcore. I'm not even anywhere near a Bitcoin maximalist. Love Bitcoin, not a maximalist. Love all my altcoins, right? Big fan. They've outperformed during bull markets massively against Bitcoin, but now Bitcoin's finally getting on the party. We're seeing all these new novel use cases coming to Bitcoin NFTs, and Bitcoin tokens, and it's very exciting. People are very excited about it, and we're seeing some pretty cool things starting to happen because we're seeing a lot of builders like OrdiSwap, for example. Now, OrdiSwap, these guys are building an AMM infrastructure for BRC20 tokens. So that's basically like kind of like a Uniswap-like exchange. Pretty cool, right? Imagine being able to trade all your favorite Bitcoin-based shitcoins, right? You don't even have to leave the Bitcoin network anymore. For all the people who are big Bitcoin fans, this is what we've been waiting for years, essentially, for a Bitcoin ecosystem to finally take off. I've been talking about the Bitcoin Lightning Network for a long time. And look, it never really got a great amount of adoption. I know some people use them, not trying to throw Lightning Network under the bus. It's just not that popular because people don't really want to spend their Bitcoin, but they might speculate with their Bitcoin. They might buy some BRC20 tokens. They might buy some Bitcoin NFTs. They might do perpetual trading if it can be done on top of Bitcoin. Right now, people use centralized exchanges for that. But what if you could do all that stuff backed up by the most powerful computer network in the world, Bitcoin? OrdiSwap's here pointing out, don't fade BTCFi, Bitcoin Finance. 3 times Ethereum's market cap, but only a fraction of the DApp TVL at 1.1 billion. That's crazy to think about. Huge potential growth area. And look, I'm not super deeply invested right now into the Bitcoin ecosystem space. I might have a couple more investments. OrdiSwap's actually one I am invested in. I haven't released a token yet, but full disclosure, obviously. If you guys want to see my current portfolio, all my venture investments, this is one of those venture investments. You can see that in the description on YouTube, the pinned comment on X. Of course, I invested in this because I think that's a damn interesting idea. Let's put Uniswap, an AMM like market structure, on top of Bitcoin. A lot of DeFi infrastructure being built right now. You have stuff like BIT Layer, which is the first Bitcoin security equivalent, layer 2 based on the BIT virtual machine. That's pretty cool. That's pretty interesting, right? We have Portal. Gosh, this, I invested venture round in Portal. This was like 2022 or late 2021. I don't even remember anymore. And these guys they need to get their product out to market. But anyway, Portal as well. Bitcoin DeFi. We're seeing it. Bridgeless hub for layered assets on Bitcoin and other blockchains. No wrapping, no synthetics, no pseudo-custodial solutions that risk your funds. Just Bitcoin. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. And we're seeing more and more of this stuff coming out all of the time. Bitcoin DeFi, Bitcoin layer 2s. It's a big story, and a lot of people are starting to pay a lot of attention to what's going on there. So you may want to pay attention too, especially if you're really into Bitcoin. You're maybe you're not the biggest Ethereum fan and you're like, oh, this Solana bullshit. Well, maybe you want to investigate what's happening in the Bitcoin world because there's some pretty interesting stuff. We actually did a tutorial the other day too for DeFi Dad did this for our premium newsletter members. For Stacking DAO has the most TVL of any DeFi app on Bitcoin layer 2. Pretty cool stuff. We're not going to go through the whole tutorial or anything here. You can come read that on the website if you want. But again, pretty cool stuff happening over in the Bitcoin space right now. So I thought, it's worth a shout out today on today's video. We have to talk about it a little bit because we haven't been talking about it very much, but I think it's something we might need to talk about more as the cycle continues to heat up and as hype continues to heat up around that. Now, I think particularly with this Bitcoin ecosystem stuff, I feel like this cycle, we're going to see a lot of interesting ideas come out, but we may not really see the full potential of Bitcoin DeFi, Bitcoin layer 2s this cycle. A lot of stuff's just launching right now. When things just launch, they don't immediately shoot up to like wild insanity. It's going to take them a while to find their feet. It's going to take them a while to get, lots of users onboarded and all this kind of stuff. We're heading in the right direction. We have these great Bitcoin wallets like Xverse, or like Wallet of Satoshi one. Anyway, whatever. There's some great, I think I have Xverse downloaded. Anyway, but lots of great wallets and stuff coming out for Bitcoin tokens and all that stuff. So it's happening. Or Unisat, that's the one. That's right, Unisat. Wallet of Satoshi's for Lightning Network. Anyway, lots of stuff going on. So if you're a Bitcoin aficionado, pay attention. Okay, there's that. Let's throw us out here real quick. Van Eck predicts Ethereum Layer 2s will reach $1 trillion valuation by 2023. Now, it's interesting for me because $1 trillion valuation based on what? Now, you have to keep in mind, a lot of these Ethereum Layer 2s, it's a game, okay? Let's just call it a game. So what happens here is that you get a governance token. So if you're a farmer, look, I'm farming a lot of these things. I think the farming potential for like ZK Sync and Linea and Scroll and Tyco, huge potential for farming. In terms of buying those on the secondary market, well, I've learned from Arbitrum that these governance tokens don't really do a lot. Now, you get a governance token, the developers, the foundation themselves, they rake in all the on-chain fees. So they are very profitable companies, and you get to govern that if you have $100 million or something like that and feel like governing Arbitrum or Optimism or whatever else. It is what it is, okay? You don't capture value with these governance tokens. So is Van Eck talking about, yeah, these things are going to make a lot of money. Bitcoin Layer 2 is going to continue, or Ethereum Layer 2 is going to continue to grow? Absolutely. But it doesn't mean that the governance tokens are going to accrue a lot of value in that process. So that's something to keep in mind. Speaking of Ethereum Layer 2, check this out. Coinbase's wallet has now added in trending swaps on Base. AKA, it's starting to happen, guys. It's starting to happen where now all those wild coins that people are aping into are now getting advertised essentially inside the Coinbase wallet. So more people can go ape into them. Don't fade Base. I'm not fading Base. Machine Alpha saying people are still underestimating the type of network effect that Stability AI and Render is going to have. Massive GPU demands and massive render burn coming. This is in relation to what this guy was asking here. So imagine the open audio models to musicians, local GPUs would be interesting. So in case you don't know, Stability AI and Render have teamed up. That's a pretty big team up, if you ask me personally. Hey, real quick note as well, if you guys have not started farming the orderly airdrop yet, still a lot of time. They are doing the road to order now. So basically now you have to go and generate trading volume on, I think it's WooFi, LogX, EDMV. You click on the link here and they'll tell you exactly where to go, and by Toro. So if you generate volume on those exchanges, then you will, for example, with LogX, great potential. And I've been trying to do some volume on LogX to get their tokens plus the orderly tokens. So 2-for-1 deal. Now, look, obviously you have to be trading. If you're not comfortable trading, maybe it's really not for you. But if you are trading anyway, and especially if you're trading on chain, why not come and trade on chain over on Orderly Network via LogX, for example, and then you can earn 2 tokens. That's what I'm doing. Of course, I already did WooFi as we were talking about the other day, but anyway, might be, if you're interested, if that sounds like something for you, then check it out, okay? Okay, let's do a real quick note. Sign up to the newsletter. It's awesome. You guys love it. No, seriously. Guys, this is one of the best damn newsletters in the cryptocurrency industry, the best damn newsletter in the cryptocurrency industry, to be honest. My team and I put 40 hours plus work into this thing every single week. We are producing huge amounts of alpha for you, from airdrops, NFTs, tutorials, DeFi, altcoin news, and much, much more. Let us save your time. We'll do the research. We put in all the hard work. We write it up for you. We present it to you in a nice little package you can read in 10 minutes on the train on the way to work or something like that. So check it out. Link in the description. You can join 110,000 plus weekly readers for free. Check it out. Okay. Shameless self-promotion over. Let's get into your questions. Da-da-da-da. Ooh, have a sip. It's getting hot in here. LCX. Haven't thought of LCX since like 2019 or 2020 or something. Used to have a little bit back in the day. Don't remember why I sold it, but sold it a while ago. Haven't thought about it since then. But hey, I'm glad that they're up. I'm glad you're making money, man. I love hearing you guys make money. I absolutely love that. Sui, what do I think about the future of Sui in the crypto world? I think they've got enough of a start that people are starting to pay attention. Now we need to see it catalyze. We need more on-chain users. We need more on-chain TVL. We need more dApps. We need a killer dApp that everybody is then forced to run over to Sui and use or play or throw money into. They need killer dApps. Haven't seen a killer dApp yet. They have dApps and they're decent, but they don't have a killer dApp yet. Sui's got potential. Let's put that. I own those Sui, but I'd say Sui's got potential from the research we've done on it. Jordan says, I invested in a newly released project and I found a wallet address that holds 81% of the non-circulating tokens. Any advice on what I should be watching this wallet for? My guess is that is like the team or the foundation wallet, and you would have to look at the wider tokenomics, what the release schedules are for those, et cetera, et cetera. And of course, then watch the release schedules. And if there are tokens moving out of there before release schedules, then you should have to ask yourself why that's happening, obviously. But generally, yeah, 81% is potentially problematic in one place. Now, if they're all actually locked, not just sitting there waiting for the devs to dump at any second, then it's not such a problem. But you need to find out what's actually going on. They might want to get in their Discord or whatever and ask those questions. And if you get banned from their Discord for asking questions, then that's a red flag. Thoughts on Aerodrome Finance? New paradigm money on base. Should have bought it. No, should have bought. But really, you guys have been talking about it for a long time, and I have not had a chance to pay enough attention to it. It's crazy trying to, create content and everything else got going on. Hour and a half emails a day. I don't get to do all the research I'd love to do personally, in spite of the fact that the team might talk about these things, and I don't always get to it personally. But look, Aerodrome Finance is an interesting one. I was looking at it. I was really thinking, like, could this be one of those coins that is still pretty undervalued if based on this thesis, if base is going where we think base is going, with 120 million Coinbase users getting access, 70 million Coinbase wallet downloads, whatever, if it's going where we think we're going, if all those people, or even if 10 million people from Coinbase come over and start trading on base, it becomes immediately the big deal. Okay? So Aerodrome could have a lot more repricing upwards to do in that scenario, or it doesn't. I don't know. But that's my general thought, not financial advice. Well, Ethereum all-time high this cycle. Let me see. I'll tell you real quick. I think $15,000 is probably a pretty logical price area. I think if I remember correctly, when I did the Fibonacci lines recently, it lines up with around $15,000. So that's probably like the peak top, maybe there for a few days or a week or two, and then we go down. Maybe things get way more bullish than we all think they're going to get, but I think 15K would be a logical area. 10K is a much more conservative number, but 15K is sort of like, I think, a decent bull prediction without getting like dumb. Because as soon as you get to 15K, you know what's going to happen. People go, it's going to 50K, man. It's going to 100K. You got to hold forever, take more risk. Probably not. Probably going to go 15K and then go down 70, 80%. Andy, would you sell Injective and double down on Jupiter? That's an interesting proposition. My Injective rewards are pretty nice, and I'm up 40x or whatever on my Injective. So that's the fascinating thing. I know Injective hasn't been moving recently. And to be honest, I've felt not wildly bullish on the apps on Injective so far. The airdrops on Injective have been pretty muted, let's say. Hey, I don't know. I think I got an airdrop worth like 2 INJ or something the other day. It's not the worst. But yeah, I think they're similar priced market caps. but you really see the levels of hype between the two. Obviously, Injective, yeah, nice asset, interesting, great. They're doing really cool stuff. Then Jupiter is just like getting so much hype, and if those airdrops really start making a bunch of money, like I got $1,500 or something, which is not the biggest number in the world, right? But I'll take $1,500 from the Zeus airdrop. Rock and roll, man. Cool. Great airdrop. I dig it. Why not? Let's see what the LFG fees are like, the launchpad fees. That's going to be very interesting to see. So I have no idea, man, but I can understand why you may look at that, because it's similarly priced market caps. One's getting a lot more hype than the other right now. Injective will probably catch up at some point, but they haven't really had that like breakout killer DApp moment yet, have they? They've had some great moves, great price action for the main asset, but where's the follow through? Where's like the killer apps that everyone's bridging over to Injective to use? We haven't seen them yet. Saying that as a bag holder, right? Okay. Andrew, what would you say to people still holding bags like ICX and Neo from that? Man, ICX is like 2017. Neo at least did something-ish, kind of a little bit, not really, with something last market cycle. Dude, ICX and Neo, no one's talking about those. No one gives a fuck about those coins anymore. I mean, I'm not going to tell you to sell them. You have to make that decision yourself. Put the big boy pants on and do it if that's what you want to do. But man, I haven't thought about it. And until somebody randomly asked me, what do you think about Neo or Icon? Gosh, man, we're showing our age here. I don't think about these coins at all. Nobody talks about them. They're completely, nobody in the market gives a crap about these coins anymore. They do nothing. I'm surprised they even have the market caps that they do these days. Genuinely surprised. Robert, yes, we have DIM, not much. We have like 65 DIM tokens currently sitting in our 10K to 100K challenge portfolio. So I'm hoping that this is going to be a nice airdrop machine. Let's see. I think there's about 7 or 8 airdrops right now that we're in line for. So hopefully it's good. Back in the law. Yeah, back in the day, man. 2017 had the mustache, the long hair. It was a crazy times, man. Crazy times. Do you think Solana will replace Ethereum? No, probably not, but I think that they'll be very much neck and neck. I mean, replace is a big word, right? Look at, has Samsung replaced the iPhone? No, they both have giant market share. Did Huawei replace either of them? No, but they all have giant market share. What my guess is that in the next few years, we're going to see probably 4 or 5 blockchains dominate. I mean, we already do have 4 blockchains that essentially have 75% of all total value locked on chain. That is Ethereum, surprisingly Tron in its second place. So that's basically Justin Sun's personal slush fund. But anyway, it's a whole nother conversation. BSC, what's the next? Solana. And then out of the remaining 25%, half of those are Ethereum layer 2s. So Ethereum domination is still very, very strong. Solana's got a great hype and narrative this cycle, but still has a lot to prove if we're being honest about our, positions here. So, okay. Bull posting for Jupiter. Think about this. Uniswap got to a $25 billion market cap last cycle. Was it 25 billion or was it 50? I can't remember. I think it's 25 billion. I'm going to double check. I don't want to misquote the number here. But it got to that market cap based on, well, essentially not very much. Because you have to think about this. Yeah, it was 25 billion. So they got to 25 billion on a governance token that does literally nothing except lets VCs and the team govern the protocol. Great. Useless garbage, essentially. The Uni token is useless. And maybe they switch the fee sharing thing on at some point, and then it'll be a very useful token. Right now, it's useless garbage. Trader Joe, dramatically better token. A lot of other tokens, dramatically better. Grail on Arbitrum, better. Jupiter, much better. Much better. Also a governance token, but it's governance staking, essentially. You take your governance token, you put it in the governance staking contract, you participate in governance, you get huge rewards, launchpad fees, and airdrops. Could be a big winner. So if we get up to $25 billion, that's like a 10x from here. It's like $15, let's say, per jupe. Considering this cycle could be a lot bigger than the previous cycle, $20 doesn't sound out of the question. Might even not be bullish enough. Hard to say. I don't want to go too crazy with like, it's going to go up to $50. I try to get too attached to this particular. I know numbers are fun, guys. I get it. But I try not to get attached to numbers because numbers are dangerous and numbers are your enemy when it comes to getting attached to them. So you're going to go, okay, well, Lark said one time in a stream it's going to go to $50 and it goes up to $43 and all the signs are there. The market's cooked and it's over. And everything's about to go to zero. And you don't sell because you're waiting for $50. Watch market conditions. Don't get attached to numbers. They're fun. They give you something to think about. What if? But don't get attached to them. Okay. Filecoin, Caleb, man, I know we don't think about Filecoin all that much. We do have a review on Filecoin coming in the next few weeks, so keep an eye out for it. It's coming out. Anyone holding Pepe? Pepe coin, the frog. I'm not holding it, but I love those memes. Are hilarious, guys. Data ownership protocol. You think it's going to do well at launch? Hopefully so. That would be nice. That would be nice. As a private sale investor, it'd be great to see. I know a lot of people got the airdrop on that one, so I hope that for the airdrop sake, people are very excited about that. I am still holding my dead coins. And we did a few promotions for them to let you guys know to get your Polkadot off of the exchanges, put it in your wallet, which is just a good security practice anyway, to be honest. And yeah, you got your dead airdrop. I got my dead airdrop. It's still locked, I'm pretty sure. I don't think there's liquidity for it yet, but I'm holding it, chilling. Let's see what happens. Oh gosh, if you had to pick between Dogecoin, Shiba Inu, and Bonk, which would you choose? None of the above. None of the above. I would choose Brett or Toshi on base. Much more potential, to be honest. Don't have either of those yet, but I'd choose those. If we're looking at like a big cap meme coin, I personally have Benji on base. I don't know. It's probably going to go to zero just for fun, right? You know, a few $1,000, whatever. Not a big deal. If it goes up to the moon, yay. If it goes to zero, I don't really care. It's fine. But I would probably look at those. Brett and Toshi on base probably have way more potential. Personal opinion. Cock and You on Avalanche, way more potential than the three big dog coins. That being said, if you're looking for lower risk, quote unquote, which is not really an applicable statement with meme coins because they're all high risk, but if you're looking for a more established meme coin player, then probably Dogecoin's like the safest bet, to be honest. It's probably going to go 10x from its current prices this market cycle, something like that. General thought on it, okay? Yes. We drink sparkling water. Do you think a 5% Bitcoin portfolio is too conservative? If it's not too conservative for you, then no, it's not too conservative. This is the thing when it all comes down to it, is that a lot of people ask me different questions about risk, and I can't tell you what your risk tolerance is. For you, that might be exactly right. Exactly right. I have a higher risk tolerance. I've got much larger percentage of my net worth in crypto and altcoins and all that kind of stuff, and I'm fine with that. For you, is it too conservative? I don't know. Maybe it's too risky for you. Ever thought about that? But if you're asking yourself those questions right now, it's probably not too conservative for you. Maybe you are risk tolerance wise open to a little bit more risk. And maybe you're talking about 5% only of Bitcoin and 100% crypto portfolio. I don't know the full story. It's hard to answer such questions sometimes on the stream without like the full story. But I would say really think about your own risk tolerance and what your goals are and what you're willing to lose. Because remember, with crypto, only ever put in what you're willing to lose. Okay. Will BlackRock customers of BlackRock keep buying Bitcoin? Absolutely, they will. 100%. No doubt in my mind. Of course, they're going to keep buying Bitcoin, guys. How much? That's a different question. How soon and how much? Also different questions. But I think throughout this year, we're going to see billions and billions more go into BlackRock and ARK and Fidelity ETFs. Captain says Beam is a little bit slow recently. Beam, the gaming coin, not the old privacy coin that no one talks about anymore. Wondering whether it's time to get out and move to bigger movers. Look, I don't know your position. Maybe you're up dramatically on that. You're up like 10x or whatever, and you're looking to take some profits. I have no idea. But one thing, I'm holding on my Beam, and here's why. Gaming season has not even started yet. We've had some games that have done well. Shrapnel did well when it came out, for example. Mavia did well when it came out. A couple others. But man, the shit that's in the pipeline right now, you guys have no idea. There are some incredible looking games coming out, like really crazy good looking stuff. Off the Grid is like off the charts, essentially. It's insane. And a lot of other really, really beautiful games from super experienced, well-funded, highly motivated teams. Gaming season has literally not even started yet. So personally, I'm holding on to my Beam, even though it's quite a large market cap coin. I don't have the expectation it's going to go like super hardcore moon from here, but I'm going to hold on to mine because I think as we start to see it hype, I mean, just think about this. When Off the Grid comes out, which is going to be based on an Avalanche subnet, and that builds hype around Avalanche Gaming, who do you think stands to benefit? Beam, another Avalanche Gaming subnet. That's my thoughts. You, of course, have to make your own decision. Sometimes you just have to have a bit of patience. When you start chasing after, sometimes I feel like we're dogs in the market, okay? And every time a car comes by, we chase after it because it's the new car, not realizing it's sitting right behind us in the driveway is a nice car that we can chew on those tires all day long. And that tire is going to get us where we're going. That car is going to get us where we're going. Our owner's going to come out and take us for a nice drive in it this afternoon. But we're not willing to wait. We want to get out in the street and chase after the shiny wheels that are driving by right now. And then you get hit by the fucking bus behind it. And then you're not going anywhere that afternoon, are you? No. So you got to be careful. Okay. Ramon says, when should I stop dollar cost averaging on my crypto portfolio? Well, depends on your time frames. There's, depending on what you're buying, there is the theory that maybe you never need to stop dollar cost averaging. If you're talking about Bitcoin, for example, you could literally, if you go back right through the history, if you've been investing since, let's say you bought the Pico top on Bitcoin in 2017, and you've just been putting $100 in every single week since that time, you'd be so dramatically in profits right now, it wouldn't even be funny. And that's dollar cost averaging. You're escaping fiat. You're putting your assets, your investments into a certain coin over time. Bitcoin in this scenario, I think it's different when we talk about altcoins, but you're putting your money into Bitcoin over time, realizing that's going to $1 million one day and that all the fiat is going to zero one day. And that's the trade that you're making. Now, when it comes to your altcoins, that's a trickier proposition because you probably have 6 months left, maybe a little bit longer for like really good, juicy altcoin buys to get good returns. There will always be opportunities, even up until the last day in the market. There'll be always opportunities to farm airdrops and new NFT mints and new listings to snipe and new meme coins to ape in and all that bullshit, okay? But every time the market cap of crypto goes up $1 billion, let's say, your risk reward has just changed a little bit. Might not feel like it when it's just $1 billion and the 2.2 trillion that we have or whatever. But every time it does, your risk reward changes. Every time the asset that you hold goes up $1 or a percentage point or whatever, the risk reward changes. So there's still lots of great time, I think, to get into altcoins. Obviously, the best time is 6-12 months ago, but that's not what we're talking about. We can't hindsight. Yeah, 2020, right? there's still a lot of opportunity, but it won't last forever. So how long exactly is anybody's guess. And you need to be paying attention to the markets and operating on your own risk parameters of how much risk you want to take for how much reward you think may be possible. Okay. Okay. Oh my gosh. All right. One final question. And we are going to finish up here for today. Saw some guy here who kept asking about ENA. Yes, here we go, Parker. Sorry, man. I saw your questions earlier during the stream, but we try to save questions till the second half of the stream. But I see him asking that, so I wanted to address it. Athena. It's interesting. I was reading Andre Cron's post about it. I've read some other people's posts about it. It's probably one of those coins. Now, the asset itself, if you farmed it, great. Enjoy the free money. I feel like it's one of those ones that is going to potentially become even a systemic risk coin within the market. Great on the way up. And maybe I'm mid-curving it. Maybe I don't fully understand everything about it. Okay, I haven't done super deep dives on it. So if I'm getting something wrong, feel free to tell me, of course. But my impression from what I've read is that it is creating an ecosystem, a giant stablecoin ecosystem, of which is going to have risk right across the DeFi space, which is going to cost massive deleveraging when it eventually goes down. But during the bull market, great. Lots of money to be made until it doesn't. So I would not risk large amounts of capital in there if you want to play in that game. Because one day, likely, as soon as the bear market starts or some huge correction in the market starts, like it may not absorb a 50% correction like we had in mid-2021, for example. But the day will come, you'll see it just go great when things are good in the market. And as soon as shit goes bad in the market, it has a high chance of going down and taking a lot of money with it. I'm worried about that. But hey, not too much, because the positive news is that during the bull market cycle, that kind of leverage is great going up, bad going down. That kind of leverage, much like Ethereum restaking or other things we might see in the market, is great at pushing prices up until it's not, and then it goes down. Just like happened in 2021 with Luna and UST and all that stuff. Not saying this is the same thing. I'm just saying the effects of such protocols in a bull market, positive, until they're not in the bear market. That's my thought. Again, I could be wrong. You guys feel free to educate me if I am. But anyway, guys, ladies, appreciate your time today. It's been awesome. I hope you had a good time. I had a great time talking to you guys, and I will see you in the next stream. Peace.